is real. Govern our tongues, life in our lungs, I keep we is real. Chastised by Yahweh, our power that's Israel. Is real. Better put respect on his presence, cause we is real. All praises to the Most High.
Alright, Shalom family, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God Yahweh. Doing so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. It's your brother Sazadak here.
Shalom.
And you know, this might, nine times out of 10, it's going to end up being a series, right? But I wanted to go into the envy of Ephraim and the vexing of Judah. Like how Judah is vexing Ephraim and how Ephraim is envious of Judah, going into the northern and southern kingdom tribes and proving who they are according to the Bible and proving who they are today in the world. Now, what inspired this, right? Current events right now in LA, where I'm from, is there's many OG gang members who get out from prison, doing long stints in prison. They'll start making YouTube accounts detailing their time in the penitentiary. Well, one of these brothers is an OG Sereno named Dubs. Many of y'all might know who Dubs is. You might not know who Dubs is. Dubs many times has gone on his videos and perpetuated that the so-called Southern Kingdom, or that the so-called black people of the Southern Kingdom, are weak, not able to stand the test of time, and they just get ran through by the Northern Kingdom brothers, by so-called Mexicans and etc. So that inspired it, and then talking with another brother of mine who is a Negro only, and we've done this 1,000 times, but he still doesn't want to see it. So I want to create a series where we go in depth, proving who the Northern Kingdom is today, and we're also going to prove who the Southern Kingdom is today. Okay. Let's start off with, matter of fact, I'm going to share this. Let's start off with Isaiah chapter 11 and verse.
Share right there.
Oh, right here. All right, forgive me, family. I'm still getting used to all this. All right, hold on. Okay. So we're going to start off with Isaiah chapter 11, and let me get to it. And we're going to start at, let's start at verse 12.
Book of Isaiah chapter 11, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall set up in his sign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
Right, so this is going towards end time prophecy, when we were gathered, coming into the wilderness, etc. Verse 13.
Verse 13. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart,
Mm-hmm.
and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off.
Right.
Ephraim shall not envy Judah,
Right.
and Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
So, in this truth, right, since I've been in this truth, and I've been guilty of this myself, many brothers, so-called black people, so-called African Americans, so-called Jamaicans, so-called Levites on the Western Hemisphere, I'm dealing specifically with the Western Hemisphere thus far, in this truth will vex Ephraim, or will vex the Northern Kingdom by the things we say out of our mouth. Oh, God is black. All the angels are black. Da 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 da. And that causes for a lot of Northern Kingdom brothers to be like, well, okay, if y'all feel that way, y'all want to keep throwing that in our face, we'll go create our own thing. And now you have Latino only Israelites. Right. You know what I mean? So that's the vexing of Judah. We vex in many ways, bro. Oh, they're not Israelites. They don't have the same skin tone, or their hair texture might be a little different. All these things, right? Not realize that the black woman can create a plethora of children, you know, or the things that we've gone through in our captivities to make us look a certain way. Because you got a lot of light-skinned brothers too, with fair, you know what I mean? Matter of fact, I want to show something real quick. before we get into it, right? I want to show y'all Drake's son. What is that? Drake's son. Thank you. All right. You see this child right here? Right. You see his hair? His hair texture? Look at my brother's hair texture. His father is an Israelite because his father is an Israelite, which means this child is an Israelite. Right. If this child end up marrying a white woman or et cetera, whatever, that child is going to come out looking very, very, very white. The whole time that child is an Israelite. It's through your, huh?
You'll never know that.
And you will never know that. It's through your father's seed. So we can't just go based off looks. Bishop brings this out a lot. Every Israelite ain't going to look like Wesley Snipes, man. We didn't look like that even when we was in Egypt. We've always been different shades of brown. We're all different shades of wheat, per se. That's why the scripture talks about the wheat from the tares. We're all different shades of wheat, right? So let's get into this thing. I want to show this video. Actually, Slaki, let's finish this out. Read 13 again.
Verse 13. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
All right. So I want to show this video real quick about what I'm speaking on. So, like I said, for some reason, a lot of brothers get out from prison. Podcasts, social media, the internet is a popping thing. You don't make too much money off of YouTube, but it does open the door to other things. So a lot of these OG cats, like this right here, this brother's an OG Crip from the IE. This brother is an OG Serenian. They'll get out from prison and they'll make videos and etc. speaking on their time inside. But the brother Dubs, this brother that I got the arrow on right here, he is very well known for, excuse my Hebrew, but for shitting on these on so-called black people. It's just always back and forth. So I want to show this real quick and then we'll go into the lesson.
California prisons, right? This dude is talking about things that's going on in federal prisons by convicts who are not even from California. So while I wasn't mad at Dubs for reacting to the video, I did feel like Dubs found somebody that said something that he's been wanting to say all this time and just never said it, right? And that's just my honest feeling.
That goes from the penitentiary to the medium highs. And one thing about it, when MAs come, the Mexicans come, brothers try to get out of the way.
So once again, of course, I'm not upset.
So Salakia, this brother right here said in the federal prison, I'm not sure if he can go, this federal prison all across the United States, brothers come from everywhere. He said when that MA rolls through, brothers like to get up out the way. Now, the brother Dubs seen that, jumped on that, was like, yeah, see, I told you, man. Like, the blacks, they scared of us inside. Everybody gets the better of everybody when it comes to penitentiary. And it's times where blacks is running them up off the yard. It's times where they're rolling up blacks off the yard. It just happens, bro. But it's these curses and the things that we go through that goes back all the way to the time of Solomon. We've been going at each other's necks. And I'm going to go into that. Matter of fact, I'm going to give a little bit more of the video, and then we'll go right into it, showing that we've been going into it, going at it for almost a millennium now.
With Dubs, for what comes out of this man's mouth. But once again, this dude is talking about what goes on in the federal system. The federal system, to my understanding, is very different from the state system. You have a lot of dudes coming together depending on what states they're from. Case in point, I can go get several videos by Southern Hispanics who will say things that are contrary to the narrative that's put out there about Southern Hispanics. And I actually done something similar to that in the video. And you had a lot of Hispanics getting upset, or you had some getting upset saying, Chill's trying to make the Southern Hispanics look bad when I was merely.
It's a pissing contest that goes on between so-called blacks and Hispanics, specifically in Southern California, more towards the north here where we are now, Sacramento, the Bay, etc. the Norteños and the blacks, they kind of get along. I know just from living in LA, they a lot of the OG cats would give it up for the Norteños. So it's not so much of a California statewide black versus brown thing. Even in LA, it's not a huge black versus brown thing. But when many brothers go to the pen and they have these wars because it's colorized, you know, the blacks gonna stick with the blacks. Sereno's gonna do their thing, Norteño's gonna do their thing, the white boys do what they do, you got the others as well. It's based off race. You know, everybody's segregated. These things happen, and when you come home, even though your neighborhood might not get into it with the adjacent so-called Latino neighborhood, there's still a man, F them dudes, right? So the brother I was on the phone with, my beloved brother, I was speaking with him, and I didn't expect him to say what he said on the phone, but he came out the door and said, F them dudes. But that's because my brother is a long-time gangster, a long-time prison cat, and he carries that, oh, they're not our people, because they did this to me. Well, what about the black man from around the corner who shot your brother? Is he not no longer your people because he shot your brother? Like, you know, we can't be so, it's easy to nitpick, and that's because we don't know who we are. So honestly, I mean, just to end it all, because I don't want to go too long with this, and fair use as well, because I don't want them to try to, you know, fair use. But this brother has been known for making problems. And these things trickle down to the young life. When the young life have no guidance and they hear that, it causes other problems. For example, Florentius, East Coast, the Longos, even the Longos in Long Beach, they push NK, which means nigger K. They kill all black people, whether you gangbang or not. So these things are very real, but it's in pockets. But it's just ignorance, right? But that comes from the envy, because Judah will walk around, you know, acting like we this and that, or we can just knock out whoever. And I've heard that, like growing up, like, or the knockout game. Got a lot of so-called black people in LA who will play the knockout game and walk up to Latino, Mexican vendors and knock them out. These are elderly men. But you also have brothers like Jap 5, who's a Hoover, who corrects and beats on his brothers for doing that. So it's just a pot of mess, and it just inspired this lesson. So I'm gonna close that off. Let me get. You want to get it on your phone, Ken? That way, so that way I got it. So let me know. I'll go back to sharing in a bit. So that is.
It's like I was gonna say, whenever we're not sharing, we can make it full screen.
Go on.
So what scripture?
Yeah, come on. Give me 1 Kings 11 and 6. We're gonna go down to 13.
It's the book of 1 Kings, chapter 6, verse 11 through 13.
Hold on. It's 1 Kings 11, 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 6 through 13. It's all. Bear with us, family. It's been a long day, but this work got to continue.
Chapter 6 through 13.
Yeah. 1 Kings 11 is 6 through 13.
1 Kings chapter 11, verse 6 through 13. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father.
Right, and as we continue, it's going to show that Slocky, let me grab something real quick. This is 2 Samuel 7 and 14. I'll read it. Don't worry about it. 2 Samuel 7 and 14. And it reads, I will be his father, talking about to Solomon. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men, and with the stripes of the children of men. But my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee. So right here in this verse, it's giving context to what's going on. So before Solomon, this is the Most High God right here talking to King David about Solomon, right? And he says, my mercy shall not depart from him as it was with Saul, meaning I'm not going to cause much harm to him, right? I'm not going to take my Holy Spirit from him. I will chasten him if he goes off. I will punish him, but I'm not going to necessarily take my spirit from him, right? So when we go back to 1 Kings 11 and 6, right? Read again.
God. Verse 6, and Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father.
Right, now go to verse 7.
Then did Solomon build in high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon.
So King Solomon here is building altars, right? Because there's a scripture or a precept that says over much study kind of wear you out. Like trying to learn every little thing about this world, it'll almost push you out the truth, right? It was also him dealing with all these strange women. His heart was led towards these other gods. And Solomon was a man who wanted to know everything about the earth, right? And he said that, I believe it's in Ecclesiastes and etc. He's done everything there is to do on this planet. And he said all is vanity. But it took his trials like this for him to know that. So in the midst of him doing all that, though, he started building altars to other gods. Let's keep going.
Verse 8, and likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods.
And what's crazy is this, right? Most men, you know, in the world, we got a terminology. It's called a trick or a sale, right? Most men tricking off might buy their wife, like they girl, a Birkin bag, or, you know, some type of luxurious item, you know, trying to show his love or whatever the case may be. King Solomon was building straight up altars to other gods for his women. You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole different type of dude. Like, okay, what kind of God you worship? All right, go ahead. You know what I mean? I'll have my man do it. Go ahead and set that up. That's just crazy. It's crazy when you read these scriptures contextually, man. All right, go ahead.
Verse 9. And the Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from the Lord God of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice.
So, Solomon, and this is in the scripture, right? We call it theophany. So we know the Most High God does not necessarily have a body, but he can appear, or he'll send one of his messengers to appear, whether in visions or etc. So Solomon twice had a theophany or a visit from one of the holy assembly, dealing with him on a different type of level than most men. So he had this happen twice, and it still went off. Straight. Keep going.
Verse 10, and had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods. But he kept not that which the Lord commanded.
Wait, so an angel of the Lord, or a theophany of the Lord, appeared unto Solomon and rebuked him twice, or admonished him twice, and told him, don't go after other gods. And he still did it.
Verse 11, wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant. Right.
So, again, I've said it before, the Most High God is not like salt. He don't just like, you know what I mean, sprinkle something and just like, it takes, there's a procession or a progression of it. So initially the conflict between the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom started with Solomon's sin. And he said, I will rend the kingdom from thee. Your father brought it together. It became one nation. It wasn't just 12 distinct different tribes. It was one nation through King David. And now through his son Solomon, it's going to be split in half, because he would not hearken to the words of the Most High God. And this is why I said in a previous lesson, before we go off in sin, we have to make sure that, or remind ourselves that these things affect the entire nation. They don't just affect one person. King Solomon sinned here, but he's going to split the nation. You know what I mean? So we must be aware of that.
Verse 12, notwithstanding in thy days, I will not do it for David thy father's sake, but I will rend it out of the hand of thy son.
As we read in 2 Samuel 7 and 14. Bring it up.
Howbeit, I will not rend away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son, for David my servant's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen.
So he's stating that all these 10 tribes, they're going to go with y'all. You know, we know Levi is sprinkled throughout. So Levi's technically in there as well. But majority of it, all these other 10 tribes are going to become the northern kingdom. They're going to be split. I'm only going to leave Judah and Benjamin and a sprinkle of Levi, who was scattered throughout. They will be the only ones in Jerusalem going forward. Y'all are gone. So I want to give some historicity or some history to why we are the way we are today. This was the beginning of it. And I'm sure brothers can show other things, little small situations we had before this. But this is when it really got bad. So going forward, let me give 1 Kings chapter 9. A lot of this we see in 1 Kings.
Verse 1?
Yeah, start from verse 1. We can work our way on down.
1 Kings chapter 9, verse 1. And it came to pass when Solomon had finished the building of the house of the Lord, and the king's house, and all Solomon's desire, which he was pleased to do, that the Lord appeared to Solomon the second time, as he had appeared unto him at Gibeon.
So we just read how these two theophanies or etc. had happened for King Solomon. Now we're going to get it what was stated. Let's keep going.
And the Lord said unto him, I have heard thy prayer and thy supplication that thou hast made before me. I have hallowed this house, which thou hast built, to put my name there forever. And mine eyes and my heart shall be there perpetually.
So this is after King Solomon built the temple. That's why when we pray, we face the east, going towards Jerusalem, going to where the temple is, where his name shall be forever. Right? Keep going.
And if thou wilt walk before me, as David thy father walked, in integrity of heart and in uprightness, to do according to all that I have commanded thee, and wilt keep my statutes and my judgments.
Keep going.
Then I will establish the throne of thy kingdom upon Israel forever, as I promised to David thy father, saying, there shall not fail thee a man upon the throne of Israel.
Right. So, and this also goes to show why, we had a breach in this promise. That it stated that we should never want, for a priest, a Levite for a priest, and something from the house of David to be a king. That didn't happen also because of Solomon's sin. We were broke off from that. We went to captivity shortly after this as well, the Babylonian captivity and then the Assyrian captivity for the Nordic tribes, right? But this is just more detail, more context to what we just read in 1 Kings chapter 11, right? Because he's been giving these promises to him that I will make your kingdom forever. I will set you up on high. It sounds very much similar to what we were told in the wilderness about the entire nation. If you just do good by the Most High God, you'll be blessed. But if you go off and start breaking these laws, statutes, and commandments, start being an idolater, and etc., then you're going to get stripped of all the promises that you are bestowed for. This is why I teach, and I will never stop teaching. We have no one to blame but ourselves for what we go through, for the way that our families are, for all the trials and tribulations we face on a day-to-day basis, the homelessness in the street, the gang banging, all of it. Just today, and he might already be dead. The brother Marcellus Williams, a brother who was falsely prosecuted, charged for, I believe it might be for a murder, but I might be wrong. But the case was, it was holes in the case. Wasn't a lot of evidence, but they still put this man on trial, and he lost, and then they set him up to be executed. Right. The governor of Missouri just denied this yesterday. His appeal was denied. That man will be executed. It was 3 o'clock Central Time. If I'm not mistaken, that's like, 2 hours away? All right. Technically, that man might die in 8 minutes, right? We have no one to blame but ourselves. And as much as I want to get on here and the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, which he is, at the same time, we can be devils. We were devils. Our ancestors were straight up devils, man. We went against the grain. We went against these laws, statutes, and commandments, and now we face judgment. Right? Keep going.
Verse 6, but if ye shall at all turn from following me, ye or your children, and will not keep my commandments and my statutes, which I have set before you, but go and serve other gods and worship them, then will I cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them. And this house which I have hallowed for my name will I cast out of my sight. And Israel shall be a proverb and a byword among all people.
Niggas, spics, wetbacks, monkeys, right? I forgot there's another term for the natives too.
It keeps going though.
But yeah, it keeps going. Like, what people here in America are proverbs and bywords? Who don't go by their real culture and nationality, whose last names, I was about to say, what's your last name, brother? But you know, you have the last name of Spaniard. Yeah, we all got some.
Last name
of the man who conquered us, Khan. So we are proverbs and bywords. So how can we sit here and say who's an Israelite? Like, as far as, the Mexicans, they ain't Israelites. That's crazy, man. Right? Let's keep going.
Verse 8, and at this house, which is high, everyone...
Oh, Salakia. No, that wasn't on that. That wasn't on that. So, let's get 1 Kings 12. We just setting the stage right now. Again, this will be a series. It's going to be a long series, but pretty soon I'm about to start showing y'all sources. Real sources and real evidence proving who the Northern Kingdom tribes are. And again, I showed the video just to substantiate how we go and vex each other and where the envy comes from and etc. Right? So people.
1 Kings chapter 12, verse 1. And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel were come to Shechem to make him king.
Right.
And it came to pass when Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who was yet in Egypt, heard of it, for he was fled from the presence of King Solomon, and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt.
So now we're going to get into the kingdom actually splitting. But we're also going to get into Judah vexing Ephraim. Because during the time of Solomon, as we're going to read, the southern tribes, Judah, Benjamin, a little bit of Levi, had the northern tribes doing hard labor, putting harsh taxes and etc. upon them, making them do overworking their bodies and etc. Right? And it's funny because how brothers be like, oh, the Mexicans, they work super, super hard, man. They just known for working hard. Some things are inherited. How do we know that this don't go back all the way to that? You know what I mean? Like, just something to think about. This overworking of the northern tribes. And maybe they just went on to inherit this. But let's keep going.
Verse 3. That they sent and called him, and Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying,
Rehoboam is the son of King Solomon. Let's keep going.
Thy father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore, make thou the grievous service of thy father, and his heavy yoke which he put upon us lighter.
So Jeroboam is coming on behalf of the northern tribes, stating, look, man, you know, your father, he not here right now. You're in charge. Can you do us the slight favor and just take your harsh yoke up off us, man? Allow us to live our life as we supposed to. Just like y'all, we all one people. Why y'all doing all this to us? All right, keep going.
And he will serve thee. And he said unto them, depart yet for 3 days, then come again to me. And the people departed. So,
you know what I mean? Let me talk to let's have counsel, do all things with counsel. Let me just have some counsel and I'll get back to y'all. Come again in 3 days.
And King Rehoboam consulted with the old man that stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived, and said, how do ye advise that I may answer this people? So he initially sought counsel, and this was the counsel that he was given. Let's go. And they spake unto him, saying, if thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and wilt serve them, and answer them, and speak good words to them, then they will be thy servants forever. Kind. So it's kind of like
like imagine Trump, right? Trump with the black vote, and you got some delegates or some people on behalf of the blacks and Hispanic nation. They come up and say, "Hey, man, Trump, look, man, like last time you was in office, you was on some bullshit, bro. But like this time, can you be cool? Like, can you, like, you know what I mean, not taxes so much? Can you, whatever the case may be." And he like, "All right, y'all go away. I'm gonna talk to my council. We gonna figure it out." And he's told, like, look, this is what you should do. Do good to them. Answer what they're asking you to do, and they're gonna serve you forever, man. They're gonna be, everything gonna be good if you just do right by them. But that's what you want.
But he forsook the counsel of the old men, which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and which stood before him.
So Salakia. So he's like, man, them old cats, they don't know what they talking about, man. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm gonna go talk to my homeboys. As I'm saying, it's his people that grew up with him. This is his homies. Hey, man, what y'all think I should do? Let's get it.
And he said unto them, what counsel give ye, that we may answer this people, who have spoken to me, saying, make the yoke which thy father did put upon us lighter. And the young men that were grown up with him spake unto him, saying, thus shalt thou speak unto this people that spake unto thee, saying, thy father made our yoke heavy, but make thou it lighter unto us. Thus shalt thou say unto them, my little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins.
So these young cats is telling them, like, look, man, your father was one way, but you got to be 10 times that. You know what I mean? You Solomon's son, man. You the grandson of King David. What you talking about making it lighter for them? You know what I mean? They got to respect you, man. You know whose loins you come through? Like, they hyping. Whoa, I don't know what that was. It's just going like that real quick. But you know whose loins you come through, man? Like, you royalty, man. They hyping them up, making them feel good. And he's like, you know what? Y'all right. I ain't going to listen to them old dudes, man. They don't know what they talking about. Y'all right, man. I'm about to go back. And now they done put a battery in his back and send him on a crash dummy mission. All right, keep going.
Verse 11. And now where is my father did laid you with a heavy yoke? I will add to your yoke. My father hath chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions.
Scandalous, bro. That's just scandalous, man. Man, let's keep going, man.
So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam the third day, as the king had appointed, saying, come to me again the third day. And the king answered the people roughly, and forsook the old man's counsel that they gave him, and spake to them after the counsel of the young man, saying, my father made your yoke heavy, and I will add to your yoke. My father also chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions.
And this is just how the Most High is like the great architect, right? A great like movie director. He puts everybody in the proper place to fulfill his will. He told Solomon not to do what he did. Solomon did it. He made a promise to King David that he wouldn't, you know what I mean, he wouldn't take the spirit from Solomon as he did with Saul. He wouldn't just cast him off. He's still going to deal with him. But he's going to chasten him or punish him if he goes off. We see that happen. Now the kingdom is being rent from him, split in half, and now his son, King David's grandson, is now the person here talking crap, talking roughly to Jeroboam and the delegates, per se, of the northern tribes. Man, like, he's just probably sitting up there with his big old chair and stuff, looking at them all crazy, like, you know, man, who is y'all, bro? Y'all trying to come in here tell me to calm down on all this roughness I got going on. I'm about to make it 3 times that. Keep going.
Wherefore the king hearkened not unto the people, for the cause was from the Lord, that he might perform his saying, which the Lord spake by Ahijah the Shilonite unto Jeroboam the son of Nebat.
We can go to verse 17. Just keep going.
So when all Israel saw that the king hearkened not unto them, the people answered the king, saying, what portion have we in David? Neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse.
Jesse.
And the son of Jesse, to your tents, O Israel. Now see to thine own house, David. So Israel departed unto their tents. But as for the children of Israel, which dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam reigned over them.
So we see here the split. So they like, man, if they're not gonna listen to us, if they're not gonna, make lighter our load, and he talking about making it worse, we just gonna do our own thing. And they're gonna set up Jeroboam over them as their king. So just paint the picture. We see here Judah vexing Ephraim. And we see it today real quick. I want to show y'all something. Real quick. Let's go back to YouTube. All right. Look at this. Judah vexing Ephraim. But you got hold on, let me see. Hold on. See if I can try to find this video. Might not be able to find it. I think they might have taken it down. Might be. Let's see. What is it?
Down here for 9 years.
Oh, that's some Edomite. But there's videos. Hold on.
Yeah, I seen a video where it was a older Mexican guy, and there were some young brothers just messing with him, throwing over his stuff. He was pretty helpless. He couldn't do anything, but they were recording him. So I've seen it.
Look, taco vendor in South LA robbed that knife point in front of his wife. I don't know, like, what the heck is going on? Why I can't find all these videos. They were on here, but that's not even just the case. I'll tell y'all just straight up normal story, bro. Like, a brother's playing the knockout game when it comes to elderly Hispanic people. When the gangbanging first really was going on.
You want to stop here?
Oh, man, it's right here. When the gangbanging was really going on, a lot of how do I get this?
You just click on this.
Like this?
Click on this. See?
It's like your family give us once. Okay.
Big screen.
Gone. So just different stories, man. Like taco trucks are getting robbed, taco vendors getting robbed, so-called black people going up and talking crap or saying, trying to knock out whatever, or they can't see it. It's a lot of it. And it's a lot of it in this truth, man. With a lot of brothers acting high and mighty and da-da-da-da-da. So there becomes an envy almost. Because here's another thing too. Black people are shot down by the police just as well as Latinos or Hispanics are getting shot by the police. But Judah's attacks are being pushed more. You see that in the news. You don't see about Latino men being shot by the police. Let me show this real quick. It's like I wasn't going to share, but I guess I got some. Let me see this. The rate of Latinos killed by police skyrockets, right? Look, the rate of Hispanics killed by law enforcement officers jumped nearly 45% in the last decade, right? by numbers. Latinos killed by law enforcement hit 0.26. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but when you go to so-called black, it's not that much more, because it's the rate of per 100,000 residents. There is almost 2 million people in LA alone. So let's keep that in mind. In 2020 and up 0.18 in 2011, right? They found that Hispanics accounted for nearly 20% of all people killed by police between 2011 and 2020. That their rate of federal crimes 1.3 times higher than the rate for non-Hispanic whites. And another reason we gotta be careful when it comes to these things, because I noticed that they said like white people get shot by the police more. That's a damn lie. Like, you know what I mean? But just going into that, it's like, Latinos, so-called Latinos, are getting shot by the police as well. But it's not pushed at the same rate that Judah is. So that's also where the MB come in, because it's like, well, damn, we can't. They always pushing, about the blacks, but we don't get no love at all. So there's a friction there. I remember growing up. Another thing is too, like, because we were robbing them, in LA a couple years ago, robbing the Mexican vendors, robbing just old elderly Mexican people, all that. To the point now, it's like, oh, we don't want y'all marrying our kids. Like, there was this girl named Naomi, bro. Beautiful. Bro, beautiful Latina sister. I couldn't date her because her father would have chipped me. You know what I mean? Like, straight up and down, bro. So, like, man, these things is real, bro.
I've been going on for a while.
A long time, man. They under the same curses that we are, but we only talk about
that green right there on the left.
This one? Huh. All right. Let me get First Kings. Actually, select it. Second Kings. Chapter 2 Kings 17 and 1 through 23. And then we got another one, and we're gonna get to these sources.
God. 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 1 through 23.
Yes, sir.
In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hoshea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years.
Uh-huh.
And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as the kings of Israel that were before him. Against him came up Shalmaneser,
it's the same thing. Go ahead.
King of Assyria. How do you say that?
Hoshea?
Huh. And Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents.
Right.
And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to king of Egypt, and brought no present to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison.
What we're seeing is the northern kingdom is starting to make leagues or treaties with these other nations. Because I believe this is the chapter where it goes into it. They're going to try to attack the southern kingdom alongside Assyria. So, we see this bumping, like it's just this warfare going on. But that's also because Judah's always vexing Ephraim. And even before the kingdom was split, during Solomon's reign, he was vexing his own people. He was vexing the northern tribes.
Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years.
Oh, because Hoshea wasn't giving him tribute as he was doing before. So now you're like, man, I'm about to just walk in your trap, take over your trap.
In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria, and placed them in Halah and in Habor by the river of Gozan, and in the cities of Medes. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt, from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods.
So the northern kingdom initially, because It all plays a part. The splitting of it all goes in succession. That's what I'm saying. The Most High God is just like the grand master architect, because his word doesn't come back void. The northern tribes specifically were also known for being extremely idolatrous. They wanted to worship other gods. They were known for that. Some of the gods they worshiped were significantly, but not subject just to that, but Canaanite, Sumerian type of religious things. Moloch, Baal, the pantheons of Sumeria, etc. They were keeping all these customs. And the reason I'm going into that is because I'm going to show some similarities between the people of this land in the Americas, the indigenous people here, and these Canaanite type and Sumerian type things that they were doing. This place is known as the land of the mountains. The ziggurats we see in South America, these are things not custom to this side. These are things that they were doing in Sumeria and Mesopotamia and the Canaanites. They were all keeping the same type of things, building up these pyramid structures and sacrificing on top of them and doing other things. The same thing that the so-called Hispanics were doing over here. It's the same people. They're known for doing that. And they kept doing it. So keep going.
Verse 8, and walk in the statutes of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel, which they had made.
Right.
And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against the Lord their God. And they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city.
So they try to like stop eyes from seeing what they got going on for real. Keep going.
Verse 10, and they set them up images of groves in every high hill and under every green tree.
Right, keep going.
And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom the Lord carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke the Lord to anger.
So they're just serving idols now. There is no fear of the Lord at this point. There's no remembrance of the covenant that we once initially said, we'll do everything you said, tell us to do. The marriage has been broken at this point, right? And this is why when we continue to read, the Most High God said, I'm done with them. I'm going to cut them off. This is why I'm going to cut them off. They're no longer a people. But this is why Yahushua came to mend the two branches. One for the northern tribes, one for the southern tribe. We have officially become a nation again through the blood of Mashiach Yahushua. Before that, the Most High wasn't dealing with the northern kingdom at all. Let's keep going.
Verse 9, right?
I believe, no, you're on verse 11.
11? Verse 11, and there they burnt incense.
Oh, verse 12.
Verse 12, for they served idols, whereof the Lord has said unto them, you shall not do this thing. Yet the Lord testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, turn ye from your evil ways and keep my commandments and my statutes, according to all the law which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servants the prophets. Not with
like real quick. That's just get this precept real quick. Zechariah chapter 1, verse 4. Be not as your fathers, unto whom the former prophets have cried, saying. So the Most High kept sending prophets to warn the people before destruction. There's always a warning. There's always a trumpet blown for the nation before destruction comes. But it's our people who won't hearken. So that's why, like, when different things happen, with people of my family, I'm talking about the family I was born into, and etc. As much as I want to be upset about it, I can't, because we brought this on ourselves. So now that the Most High God has put the Spirit upon me to mend, to bring my family back to the Most High God, we got to remember these things. Be not as your fathers. What did they do? They were worshiping other gods. They were tossed to and fro by every whim of doctrine, and etc. We can't be like that. So that's why we go back to, you still holding that? 2 Kings 17, verse 13?
14.
Yeah. But at the end of 13, it says, keep my commandments and my statutes according to all the law which I commanded your fathers, which I sent to you by my servants the prophets. So that precept in Zechariah is saying the same thing. He's always doing this. But what happens?
Verse 14. Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks, like to the neck of their fathers, that did not believe in the Lord their God. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he had made with their fathers, and his testimonies, which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom the Lord had charged them that they should not do like them.
And we see that today. We'll go to the highways and byways and try to prophesy to the people and tell them, hey, destruction is coming. Turn from your wicked ways. Come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? People come up and be like, you know, I know I've heard this before. You know, I know this. Some people will even come up and be like, yeah, I know, I'm Judah. Yeah. But I'm about to come out here I'm about to go do all the things that the heathen do. All the ways that we have today are ways of the heathen. These are not our natural ways. Now, brothers being warriors, that's us all day. But all the homosexuality, the rapid drug use, the over-sexuality that's pushed, all these things are the ways of the heathen. We learned this from being in this captivity. But they don't want to return to their natural heritage. That's why salvation is likened as a drop to a wave.
Honest, even back then, like nothing new under the sun. What we were doing back then, we're doing now, just in modern times.
Same thing. There's nothing new under the sun.
Same thing.
Let's keep going.
Verse 16. And they left all the commandments of the Lord their God, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the host of heaven, and served Baal.
But here's a great point right here. Read verse 17.
And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord.
So it's like real quick. What people were known for sacrificing their kids? Human sacrifice. I don't even want to use Wikipedia, bro. I mean, I will, but
you can maybe go to images and might pop up some images that.
Oh, you got the Smithsonian right here too. Hold on. Oh my goodness, bro! Like all praise is due to the Most High God. A mass grave of Maya boys may shed light on human sacrifice. I might butcher this word. Chicken?
Itza?
Might be.
Possibly.
But we just read, hold on, fam. We just read how they caused their children to walk through the fire. They made them sacrifices. You have a grave here of young boys being sacrificed. What other nation of people on this earth are doing that at this rate? Some would say, well, there's tribes in Africa. Okay, they might be part of the northern tribes. The tribe, but majority of them are here in the Americas. Let's keep going. Okay.
Most of them were between 3 and 6 years old.
Right.
Wow.
Well, let's start here. The chamber was originally discovered in 1967, while its occupants' ages could be estimated based on the skeleton stature. These are all their children. Researchers knew nothing else about the deceased, but recently, a team of scientists genetically tested the remains. According to the study they published in the journal Nature, not only are most of the deceased boys, but many of them are related. And 4 are even twins. This word don't come back void. Here's the problem. Brothers get in their emotion. Oh, a group of Mexicans jumped me when I was 8 years old and I never got over it. Or I was in the Pinta and one of them ran up on me and the guard allowed them to get at me and cracked the gates and they got up on me and they hit me. So did brothers who look just like me and you. What's ironic is, like, you know what I mean, Nipsey said it best. When you out there gangbanging, you're not looking for the brother who got on the hard hat and the construction vest and etc. and walking down the street. You know, oh, he just working cat. You're not looking for the white man running up the street with his, Pomeranian or whatever the hell that shit's called. Like, you're not looking for that. You're looking for the brother that's walking and looking like you. There you go. You'll go smoke somebody who look just like me and you, right? But you got the nerve to be mad because this, you know what I mean? It's just crazy. It's emotions. It's vexing. It's time for brothers to get out of their emotions and start dealing with facts. This is a fact. And we just read it, So let me close this out real quick. I'll go back to sharing in a bit, but let's just finish this out. All right. Let's keep going.
Verse 17. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire and use divination and enchantments,
witchcraft,
and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
And remember, it stated, I forgot where we was, one of the previous precepts that we pulled, it stated that there will only be Judah left. All these things run in succession with each other. All these things happen because of sin. And it affected the whole nation. And I want to show this. Matter of fact, read 22, verse 22 to 23.
Verse 22, where the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did, they departed not from them.
So there's a precept in Sirach where it states, as the king is, so shall be his people. So if you have a wicked brother who's in a divination, enchantments, and all manners of folly and wickedness, if you got that as your leader, the rest of the body gonna be the same way. And that's what happened. He led the northern tribes doing all this effort, or all this folly. Keep going.
Until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, as he has said by all his servants, the prophets. So is Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day.
So, Slakia, give me 2nd Esdras, chapter 4. 2nd Esdras, chapter 13, verse 4. And I'm not going to go much into 2nd Esdras, because I got other ways of proving this, but I want to show some things right
now. 2nd Esdras, chapter 13, verse 4. And whensoever the voice...
2nd Esdras 13 and verse 40.
Oh, 40.
Yeah, come on.
Second Ezra chapter 13, verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanazar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. And so came they into another land.
Which we just read, right? Keep going.
Verse 41. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Stop real quick. So, Salaki, brothers like to say that this region that they're going into is Africa. Could brothers have Northern Kingdom brothers went into Africa, etc.? Yes, we're scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth. There's not a place on this planet where we not are. But at the same time, what place was known as a place where never mankind dwelt? Was there anybody in the Americas before the Northern Kingdom tribes came? No. Even if a brother wanted to sit here and argue and say, oh, those aren't the real Native Americans, those are Siberians. Even if you wanted to say that, there was nobody in this land before they came here, regardless of that. So, this is something I want to put on the table. Let's keep going. Verse 42.
That they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
Which they never kept in their own land, right? So, now I'm going to source up. Let's source. All right. Let's see. Luis de Torres. This is Luis de Torres, right? Oh, hold on. Before I grab that, Christopher. There we go. I want to show what it says.
You brought a Hebrew interpreter with him? Yeah.
So Luis de Torres, as we read right here, died 1493. Was Christopher Columbus's interpreter on his first voyage to America. De Torres was a converso, a Jewish person. So this man was a Hebrew. He was an Israelite. So he wasn't a Jewish, like, you know what I mean? He was an Israelite person who was forced to convert to Christianity or be put to death, according to the Spanish Inquisition. Apparently born Joseph Ben or whatever. But there's another one that said Columbus felt that he would be particularly useful. Hold on, let me just grab this. This might be here. Okay. De Torres was chosen by Columbus for his knowledge of Hebrew, Chaldaic, and Arabic. Why, if they thought they were going to India, as the story is told, why would Columbus feel like this was useful to bring somebody who spoke Hebrew?
They don't teach that.
They don't teach that.
Oh, I ain't never heard that till I came to the truth.
Right? I'm going to show you why he felt it was useful.
Dude, I teach that.
The Los Lunas Decalogue Stone, also known as the Los Lunas Mystery Stone, or the Commandment Rock, is a large boulder with a Hebrew inscription carved into its face. The inscription is a summary of the 10 Commandments and is written in Old Hebrew alphabet with some Greek letters. The stone is located on the side of Hidden Mountain near Los Lunas, New Mexico, about 35 miles south of Albuquerque. Why are people here, the indigenous people here, speaking a Hebrew dialect? Or, well, one might say Phoenician, right? Let's get this right. There's another one. The Back Creek inscription, found in Tennessee, right? Look at this. Wait a minute. Holiness to the Lord, an inscription worn on the forehead of the high priest as described in Exodus. And they made the plate of the holy crown of pure, pretty sure that says gold, and wrote upon it a writing like to the engraving of a signet. Holiness to the Lord. You see these characters, right? Why is this found in America? It's the same thing. Oh, they're Siberians, brother. They're not the real Israelites, brother. Somebody explain this. It's not making any sense. And now you got brothers thinking that they've always been here, that the transatlantic slave trade never happened. Like the government is not going to create psyops to continue to allow us to go against the grain and forget who we are. They're always trying to form a new thing. Oh, they're starting to believe they're Israelites? What can we do to make them not believe it no more? Let's say they're Native Americans. Like, you know, like brothers don't think about stuff like this. But you just go off of anything that feels good. And that's how they know how to get us.
You know they got all the answers up in their high places and all these things that we probably won't see until the Most High reveals it. But it's slowly being revealed.
Right. You got the 800 Hebrew stones found in Puerto Rico. 800 ancient stones written with Hebrew.
fringes on.
That's bruh. That's another thing. Hold on. Because it leads right into what I'm about to go into. Because I got the holy grail to bust somebody's face open with right here in my phone that just shuts down all these arguments.
Oh, them singing.
Yeah, bro. I got. Yeah, we gonna show it.
Don't get there.
Yeah, we gonna get there. Don't worry about nothing. All right, check this out. This is my favorite image right here. Y'all see this?
Blue border.
With this ribbon of blue? Y'all see this woman? With this, like...
It's in our face.
It's right there, like... But nah, brother, they just did that because they copied, like, stop it, man. Knock it off. We gotta deal with truth. Salakia, I don't know why I'm not remembering where that is, but I definitely need to. Hold on. Where's that verse? Bent in the no. To put fringes. It's in Numbers. I don't know why I'm not
Numbers 15 and like
38. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't remember that.
Read it.
No, but let me pull it up in the one that looked good. No, that's fine. Where's the KJV?
Read that one.
Oh. Hold on. That's because I didn't put KJV behind. There we go. Let's get that.
Numbers chapter 15, verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations.
Throughout their generations. That's forever. Keep going.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
Even if somebody wants to sit here and argue the fact that, oh, well, the Babylonian people had fringes. Some of these other Chaldeans, etc., they had fringes upon their clothing. No one has a ribbon of blue because it's specifically a Hebrew and it's specifically a Hebrew Israelite tradition. Now, going back to this image, someone explained to me why this Native American sister has fringes on her clothing with a blue border. It's not making sense, family. Here we go again. This is a dog with a blue... Man, I can end the video right now.
Ancient, too.
This is an ancient dog with a blue border. Let me see what the rest of this is. Another blue border.
Look what it's priced at.
Wow.
They're selling it for $18,000.
That's crazy. Hold up. We got some more. That's fine. Two little gems. Blue border. Like, why are they doing that? Like, someone see this right now and be like, well, see, all of them ain't doing that. Bruh, look, oh man. They kept it a part of their customs, bro. Now, I want to go somewhere else. What is his name? I believe his name is David Adair. No, what is this man's name? Adair. History. James Adair. So let me get the brother's name first, and we can go to James Adair. All right. So this man, James Adair, wrote a book called The History of the American Indian. Right? James Adair, born 1709, died 1783. So this is very much around the time of the tribes starting to move, the Trail of Tears going on, all these different things. Was a native of County Antrim, Ireland, who went to North America and became a trader with the Native Americans of the southeastern woodlands, right? From 1735, Adair resided in North America for 40 years and was almost entirely cut off from the outside world. From 1744, he resided chiefly among the Chickasaw. So he's dealing on a first-hand basis with the northern tribes, or let's just take that off the table. He's dealing specifically with the so-called Native Americans. Now, I want to go to his book that he wrote. And I just want to read a few things from his book. And I'll let the people be the judge of that. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay. So select it. Let me pull it up on my phone. $480 pages.
Published 17.
Published when? What'd you say?
1775.
Published in 1775, right? All right. Let's go to 60. No, 60. Like, it's not the page 60. I wrote it down a little differently. It's slide 60. It might take a little time, family, but when you read this whole book, wait, hold on. What does it say? Observations and arguments and proof of American Indians being descended from the Jews. A number of particulars present themselves. This is written in the old Hebrew. If you ever have a 1611 Bible, you might have a word that says sure, and it has like F. That's the ancient way of writing the S, the letter S. But let's read it. A number of particulars present themselves in favor of a Jewish descent. But to form a true judgment and draw a solid conclusion, the following arguments must not be fully separated. Let them be oh my goodness. Distinctly. It's distinctly. Let them be distinctly considered and then unite them together and view their force collectively, right? So I want to go to this page. I can't just move this forward. Yes, I can. All praise to the Most High. On page 60, what does it read? Hold on. I hope it's the same on here as it is on my phone. Hold on. No, it is not. Hold on, let me see. Because if it's different, I'll just read it on my, because I have it written down as far as slide this on my phone. Matter of fact, I know what I can do. And then we could chop some of this out.
Don't worry. Anything.
Okay. See, I got it in. Okay. Damn, I got it downloaded in my phone. I forgot. All right. Downloads. History of American. Page 47. So it's different right here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it is here. All right. So Salaki family for the bit of a technical difficulty, but we're back. All right. I'm gonna start reading. I'm gonna start reading right here. Right, page 46 on that. Hold on. Might have some more on the next page. I just looked up and seen something. Oh, that's no, that's all right. Right here. When this beloved liquid or supposed holy drink offering is fully prepared and fit to be drank, one of their magi brings 2 old consecrated large conch shells out of a place appropriated for containing the holy things and delivers them into the hands of 2 religious attendants, who, after a wild ceremony, so they still have some of their folly in with it, fill them with supposed sanctifying bitter liquid, and then they approach near to the 2 central red and white feasts. All right. Traders called the war and beloved camels, flooping with their heads and bodies pretty low, advancing a few steps in their posture, they carry their shells with both hands as an infant. At an instant, to one of the most principal men on those red and white feasts. Fang on a bass key, Yah, quite short. Then in like manner, they retreat backward, facing each other with their heads. So these men that they're invoking, I'm gonna show more, but it says they're gonna invoke the spirit of Yah, right? Whoever this Yah, but let's keep going. Very short, and they retreat backwards, facing each other, with their heads bowing forward, their arms across, rather below their breasts, and their eyes half shut. Thus, in a very grave and solemn manner, they sing a strong bass key, the awful monosyllable O, for the space for a minute. Then they strike up a majestic, I can't really read that, key on the treble with a very intent voice, as long as their breath allows them, and on a bass key with a bold voice, short accent, they at last utter the strong, mysterious sound, Wah. So first they say Yah, then they stop, then they say Oh, then they say Wah, right? And thus finish the great song, or most solemn invocation of the divine essence. The notes together compose their sacred, mysterious name, Yo Hey Wah. Oh, so that's what I missed. Okay, that's Hey. So right here it says Yah, or Yo Yah, Oh Hey Wah. Like, come on, bro. This is a man at this time who doesn't need to try to fluff anybody's fringes. This is a man living amongst his people and making an account of the things that they do, right? So that this seems to be the true Hebrew pronunciation of the divine essence name Jehovah, which we know as Yahweh, will appear more obvious from the found they seem to have given their characters. The Greeks, who chiefly copied their alphabet from the Hebrew, had not Yod, but whatever, I can't see what that's in, but nearly resembling the sound of our, looks like a Y. The ancient Teutonic and Slavic dialects have Yah as an affirmative and use the constant W instead of V. The high importance of the subject necessarily will lead their supposed red Hebrews, when separated from other people in America, to continue to repeat the favorite name of God, Yo Hey Wah. Right? So hold on. I'm gonna go to somewhere else. You grab it. So let's go to page, well, not page 77, but slide 77. On my phone, it says 77. It's a little different on the phone than compared to the computer screen. Let's go to page 65. Bear with me, family. We just using this. Okay. This paragraph right here. The Indians call the lightning and thunder Eloha. Hold on. Let me pull this up of what Eloha means. Okay. Mighty, powerful one. The word Eloah or Eloha is a singular or dual of Elohim. It's another way of saying it. Eloha or Eloah, right, is a singular way of just saying Elohim. It's just another way of saying the Most High God. And here these people are calling the lightning and the thunder Eloha. And its rumbling noise, Ro'ah, which may not improperly be deduced from the Hebrew. To enlighten the Hebrew nation and impress them with a reverential awe of divine majesty, God spoke to them at Sinai, right? And other times during the theocracy with an awful of thundering voice. So they will remember, and it will be passed down through oral tradition, etc., the times where when they were walking in the wilderness and the Most High God appeared to Moses or started to come down, because remember they said, let us see him. We want to see him. And they got horrified when they started seeing all this lightning and thunder, right? They did not know that thunder proceeded from any natural cause, but from the immediate voice of Elohim above the clouds. And the Indians believe, according to the Hebrew system of philosophy, that Mingo, this is their language, Mingo, Ito, Eloha, Akayafto, Akens. The great chieftain of the thunder is very cross and or angry when it thunders. So according to their traditions, this Chickasaw tribe, whenever it thundered, they would say the Eloha is angry. You know what I mean? Or Eloah. It's just Eloha, Eloah. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? But let me get some more. All right. So I got to go to slide 108 in my phone. This is where we start getting to the nitty gritty, real for real, which is page 95. So let's go to page 95. All right. Okay, that's going into somewhere. We can still check this out. All right, page 126. All right, which is page, what page is this? 114. Right here. So let's read this right here. Before I conclude this argument, I must here observe that when the Indians meet at night to gladden and unite their hearts before Yohewa, they sing Yowashu, Yohewashu, Yohewashi, Wahewashi, Yohewashai, Yohewashai with much energy. The first word is nearly in Hebrew characters the name of Joshua or Savior. What does that sound like?
Yahushua.
Why okay. Because then a brother might argue, oh, wow, how do they know the name of Yahushua? Brother, you're going to have to explain why they over here chanting Yahushua. That's the first thing. Or Yahweh. This man is around these tribes and just observing the things that they do. And it came to the conclusion, you know what? These have to be the Israelite tribes.
He's just telling it how it is.
He's just telling it how it is. But let's keep going. Okay. That these red savages, it's funny. Like, look, you see what I'm saying? He has nothing to prove here. He's stealing his Edomite white man bag and calling these people savages. Even if he thinks they're the Israelites, he's still calling them savages. You know what I mean? That these red savages formerly understood the radical meaning and emblematical design of the important words they use in their religious dances. That's another thing. They're invoking the name Yahweh and Yohewa or Yahweh in all their religious ceremonies. And sacred hymns. It's pretty obvious if we consider the reverence that they pay to the mysterious divine name Yohewa, in pausing during a long breath on each of the two first syllables, they're defining good by joining wa at the end of a word, which otherwise expresses moral evil, as before, because he's the God who creates both, right? As before noticed, and again by making the famed word a negative of good, by separating the first syllable of that divine name into two syllables and adding you as a superlative termination, Y-O-U. All their sacred songs seem like to illustrate it very clearly. Hallelujah, Shilawab, Mephiwab, whatever that is. I forgot to write that one down. There's another part where it states here, if you don't have this book, read the book. It's called James Adair, The History of American Indian. In one of their chants, they also sing a Alleluia. Alleluia, which is hallelujah or hallelujah, right? The words which they repeat in their divine hymns while dancing in three circles around their supposed holy fire are deemed so sacred that they have not been known ever to mention them at any other time. And as they are a most erect people, their bowing posture during the time of those religious acclamations and invocations helps to confirm their Hebrew origin.
Right there.
I got one more thing.
How can you find it?
Just searching, man. Trying to make sure. Yeah, man. That's what we call a source. Source up or shut up. That's a source. All right, let's grab one more precept and we're gonna end this first part, but we definitely gonna come back on. Because it's a lot more to go to.
Right.
Just on the prophecies of the northern tribes and the southern tribes having to leave here together. All these various things. But this is just the first part. So let's get let me get this precept. Matter of fact, where's the blue? How can I get to the blue light? Right here.
I believe, it's right there where you get to.
All praises to the Most High. All right. Let's see. Deuteronomy 33 and 20. All right. It's about Gad. According to the chart, the Native American Indian, right? Which brothers have a problem with. They say, oh, that chart is bogus, it's bull crap. Let's see. Brother, can you see that?
Huh.
Can you read it?
Yeah. Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 20. And of Gad he said, blessed be he that enlargeth Gad. He dwelleth as a lion, and teareth the arm with the crown of the head.
Right. So let me get this in the interlinear. How can I bring this up in the interlinear?
I believe click on tools, right there
Right.
on the left, right next to the verse.
Yep.
Huh.
All praise to the Most High. The crown of the head. Let's get this part. It says he teareth the arm and the crown of the head. Head. Crown of head. Top of head. Hairy crown. Scalp. Let's go to Strong's definition. The crown of the head, as the part most bowed crown of the head, the scalp, the top of the head. What people were going around tearing people's scalps off?
Yeah.
Hold on. Native American scalping.
We were doing ourselves like that.
Hold on. Oh my goodness, look at these images, man. This is probably the man who was scalped. They got an image of this. Bro, you can't make this up. Look at this man tearing off this man's head, bro. Scalping. 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 Like, bro, let's go back to the verse. The crown of the head is scalping. It's the scalp. If we go back and read the verse, and of Gad he said, blessed be he that enlargeth Gad. He dwelleth as a lion and teareth the arm with the crown of the head. Meaning he's a warrior. He gonna, not only is he gonna chop you up with the warfare that he has, he's also gonna tear your scalp off, which is what the Native American Indian does in the land, bro. So, real quick, let me stop sharing. Let's bring us back. We have to deal with these things, bro. We can't be emotional and in our feelings. The Most High God is not dealing with how you feel. He could care less about how you feel. What he wants is for you to listen to him and follow his law, statutes, and commandments. The problem is, brothers are getting emotional or allowing things that happened previously in their lifetime or getting into how somebody looks as making them Israelites. But again, that has nothing to do with the case. If we look at Drake's son, through his father's lineage, he's an Israelite. We're all not going to look the same, right? Even you might have a household of 2 black parents and let's say they have 7 kids. 3 of them kids might be dark skinned. Another 3 of them kids gonna be light skinned, and one of them might come out looking like God knows what. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we see. I have 9 brothers and sisters, bro. I'm the baby out of 9. Some of us are light skinned. Some of us are caramel complexion. Some of us have more horsey hair. Some of us have more straighter hair. It's just what it is. And then from dealing with what we have to deal with the white man coming over and, you know, doing what he did and etc., it was bound to happen, man. It's why we have so many so-called light-skinned brothers today. You know, so I pray this first part has been edifying. Again, if y'all want that source, that's James Adair, History of the Native American Indian. Check that out for yourselves. Again, we covered the Los Lunas stone, the Back Creek inscription, the 800 stones in Puerto Rico. Slaki, real quick. Oh, we also covered, we did do that, the sacrifices. Right? And next time I'm going to get more into the ziggurats, which is the pyramidal structures that we see in South America and throughout the Americas. We see them here as we saw them in Sumeria and Canaan and Mesopotamia, of them doing the same things, which the Northern Kingdom stated in Scripture, which we showed today. They were doing these things, copying the same customs of the heathen. So it's like, you can either listen to somebody just talking, or you can source up or shut up. And I think going forward, when it's dealing with a lot of these so-called Negro only, it's either source up or shut up. And the brother, my beloved brother, who wants me to come on his podcast and have a formal debate, we're going to go into these things. And I definitely want to send a link to the family, because you're going to see how a lot of time it's just conjecture, straw mans, filibustering. It's not going to be real facts. Thank you.
I've seen it.
Done.
Seen it. Yeah, they don't bring out no facts. If anything, they just get frustrated and angry, and you know what I mean? They don't really go nowhere. But as long as we do our part, we bring our sources, no one can say that we didn't do our research.
And with that, family, we're going to close out saying Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. Hope all in all is well, man. We're gonna see y'all again. Shalom.